you notice, there are many, many layers. There's some census data you can throw on. And in fact, it's probably valuable that I focus on that. Again, these are additional data sets we invested in, right? So it's not just public record, it's a lot of database. Census Bureau, demographics. You could overlay on top of this, you know, the census numbers of saying, where are the 30-somethings in this area? Now you see in color coded where are most of the 30-somethings live, and then you throw on top of it the psychographic data, behavioral data, where you say, fine, how do they vote? Do they vote Republican or Democrat mostly? And you lay that on top of it too. Now you have a very good understanding of your market, you know, what type of people live there, and how would that help you? If I'm a broker, I want to focus my marketing, you know, have different kind of marketing messages maybe, depending on their preferences, which is very similar to how some of you visit websites and get the Chevy ad and others get the Mercedes ad, depending on which zip code you logged in from and how you behaved on that website. Scary stuff. Be proud of yourself if you got the Mercedes ad. If you got the Chevy ad, thank you for supporting American-made products. All right. So I'm going to go switch back to the list view from here and select a couple of properties. You can go ahead and do side-by-side comparison for you. You have the photos, charts, graphs, information, and once again you have the map view there as well at the very bottom that you can switch to. Let's select a specific property from here. So I want to know this one. What details are there about it? Oops. All right. This home happens to be for sale. Because for sale, you are seeing the list price. I'll discuss what the RPM is in a moment, but let me show you another data set, things that we invested in. This is the mapping tool that we have. You can pan around, zoom around, you can do an overhead, different angles. Where's the zoom in button? I thought I zoomed in. There you go. You can zoom in and all that cool stuff, right? And as I always say, and I say this in every session, stop using yard signs and put the for sale sign on the roof. It's going to catch on. And someday somebody's going to say, that Ohan guy said this and he was so right. It's going to happen. I'm convinced of that. Somebody's going to patent that, and some broker's going to say, come work for us, you can get roof signs for free. Oh, I can see a whole business development.
Say, take us through what you were talking about, like on that particular house.
Yeah. Take
us through some of the census data, like you know, how they vote in that area.
Sure. I will do that in just a minute. Let me finish this because it's right here, actually, the drop-down box here. But another one that we have here, in markets where available, we got the parcel boundaries. So you're seeing here the parcel boundaries on the map. That's, again, third-party data. And we also have rooftop accuracy. That's exactly what it means, rooftop accuracy, as opposed to, if you get just a general geocoding from, say, Bing, Microsoft, or others, it may or may not place it right on the property. It will be somewhere near the property. So there are third parties. They're typically regional, localized companies that sell this data to us. So it's right on the rooftop, not on the street somewhere. Okay? Investments. These are the kind of investments we made. Now, you can come here, sir, and say, you know, I'd like to know the housing density, which is from the Census Bureau, the housing density around this property, and I can overlay that heat map there and see, relevant to the subject property, what is the housing density around it. This drop-down box in future releases is going to expand to include some of that psychographic data that we discussed. Where are the 30-somethings? Where are, how, you know, all of those additional things are going to be overlaid there. So in a map view, in a heat map view, you're going to be able to arrive at those conclusions. Okay?
Carbon release.
I'm sorry?
Carbon release for the energy.
There you go. I mean, there are so many things you can do here. This is And that's why I make sure I mention that, yes, you start with the public records, but that's one data set. There's so much more you overlay on top of this to make it work effectively for you in an intuitive way. So, all right. So from this, let me discuss the RVM quickly. Remember I mentioned in the beginning that there's a business model attached to this, so it doesn't become simply just an investment, ongoing investment by NAR, which was the appealing part of this. Well, first of all, let me say, how many of you are familiar with Second Century LLC? Okay. There was about $100 million dedicated to that, I guess, venture investment division created by NAR. They are reserves from membership dues as well as the sale of some assets, stocks and such, right? So they took that money and they want to invest it in projects and turn it around as member benefits to you. Some of the projects you may be familiar with, Center Lock is one of them. There are several. House Logic is another one that just launched. Again, it's a public-facing website geared towards home ownership. Unlike Realtor.com that's searching for homes, this is just home ownership, no searching for homes. And the other one is RPR. RPR is another investment. There's approximately $20 million dedicated as seed money to initiate this project. And I can tell you we're already $12 million into it. Just from all this data costs money, right, to go ahead and bring it to the table. But on an ongoing basis, as a business model, here's what we're proposing. Most of you probably had no idea what an AVM is up until very recently, I'd say about 3 years ago. I didn't. I had no idea what an AVM is. Reality is, well, an AVM is an automated valuation model, an automated way to calculate the value of a property. And how did you become familiar with it? Come on, tell me. How? Zillow? Can we say Zillow? It's
There's
Zillow.
a couple of companies out there doing it.
Well, yes, but we all became familiar with it because of Zillow, because they were the first company to make it public. As opposed to what I'm getting at, banks and other entities have always purchased AVMs for many reasons. One of them is refinancing the home. You know, if you're going to refi a home, a bank is compelled to pay a dollar or two for an automated valuation model on that property, and if it's accurate enough or close enough, they're willing to take that risk and go ahead and underwrite that refi or a line of credit and things like that. But the other use for it is to gauge the value of their portfolio. They want to know, I don't know, some random number, 1,000 homes, 1,000 mortgages that they have, 1,000 portfolio. What is the worth of that? What is the market worth of that approximately? So since they're looking at approximately, that automated valuation model works for them. They're okay with that. But now obviously there's holes in that automated valuation model, right? And we've done a little quick view in the San Jose market of 5 properties, and we looked at Realtor.com's valuation, Zillow's valuation, Cyberhomes.com valuation, several others. None of them were consistent. It was just all over the place. And that's a very, very problematic thing for banks. They're looking at a better way of evaluating their portfolio. Similarly, the Treasury Department and others too, because there's a lot of smart people looking at bad data, and the result will be bad decisions, right? It's inevitable.